York, and I'm going to teach you how to do a 4-in-hand knot today. So it's a pretty discreet and asymmetrical knot that works very well on button-down collars, and it's really a good knot to tie with a thicker and heavier fabric for the tie. So this is how you proceed. You want to start with the wide end about 12 inches below the narrow end, even though it may depending on the length of the tie you're using. And this is how you proceed. You take the wide hand, which should be on your right hand side, and you bring it over to the front. Bring the wide end underneath the front, and then you do a full turn. You go over this time and just pull through the loop, pull it up, and bring it down through the loop. Like I said, it's slightly asymmetrical, so it's okay if it doesn't look perfect. And there you go, you get your 4-in-hand knot.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to look at this, the Half Windsor. It's probably my favourite tie knot. It's really versatile and actually it's really simple to do. So let's get straight down to it. This is going to take 1 minute max. Let's learn how to do this. The Half Windsor tie knot. Pass the thick end over the front of the thin end. And it goes underneath the tie. We're then going to push this through the middle and then pull it through, and you see that's created a little shoulder there. Now you can actually tie this tie both ways. You can tie it around the same side or you can go around the opposite side. I think going the opposite side makes it more symmetrical, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to cross the tie over the front and then we're just going to tuck it through the loop. Now, like I say, I think this will give you a much more symmetrical knot. And then we're just going to manipulate the knot. Give it a tug as you pull it up. Squeeze the bottom of the knot so you get a nice triangle. And there you have it. Half Windsor knot. Simple as that. Okay, so that's it. We hope you found the video useful. If you did, then we'd really appreciate it if you gave it the thumbs up. You can also subscribe to our channel where we do lots of other tie knots. We also have a vlog where we take you behind the scenes of this really great business that we run down here in the city.
Hello, I'm Charles from Louis Purple, and today I'm going to teach you how to tie a Windsor knot. The Windsor knot is actually a very simple knot to tie, and it's very useful because it projects confidence. So it's a wide triangular knot that's very suitable for presentation, job interviews, or courtroom appearances, which I hope you don't frequent too often. So this is how you start. You just find the right balance depending on the length of your tie, with a wide end on the right hand side and the narrow end on the left. You might want to adjust exactly where the center of the tie should be, in the middle of your neck. So this is how you start. You cross over the wide end over the narrow end. You bring the wide end through the loop between the collar and the tie, and you bring the wide end back down. Then you just pull the wide end underneath and then bring it up through the loop again in order to have a symmetrical shape, which should look like this. And you're almost done. That's only the easy part left and the most rewarding. Pull the wide end in front, bring the wide end underneath, and then slide it inside the loop and tighten the knot. You draw the knot up in order to fit your collar. So it's a knot that's really suitable for widespread collars. And as I said, then you can just adjust and tighten how big Hey, I'm Charles from Louis Purple. We're in New York, and today I'm going to teach you how we tie a Nikki knot. So it's a pretty simple knot to tie, and it works almost with any type of tie or collar. And you want to start with the tie upside down, with the wide end on the left hand side. The narrow end should be about 6 inches higher than the wide end. And when you start tying the Nikki knot, you want to go underneath with the wide end. You bring it up and under the collar, pull out on the right hand side, and then you switch hand like that, and then you're ready to go over, under, not too tight so you can easily pull it gently through the knot, through the loop, adjust it, pull it gently, and you should obtain a fairly symmetrical knot that works with any type of collar, really, any type of tie, and it's good for any formal occasion, really. Hey, I'm Charles from Louis Purple. Collars that works well with tuxedos, but we don't see too many people wearing it nowadays, and people go wear bow ties with like small spread collars, and I think that's how they look best. So let's go back to how to tie the bow tie. So the way you want to start is to have the right hand, depending if you're left-handed or right-handed, whichever is more convenient for you. One end is going to be longer than the other one. You don't want, depending on the kind of finish you have on your bow tie, you might want to adjust the length so that you have enough width to tie the knot and make it easy for yourself. So this is where you start. The right end should be slightly longer because I'm right-handed. You go over the shorter end, pull it out under. That's step one. Then you don't worry about the longer side. So once you're in this position, it's pretty much like tying a shoelace. So what you want to do is bring up the shorter side sideways like this, pull down the longer part over, and then it will be the middle of the knot. And then all you have to do is fold the part in your right hand and slide it inside the loop that you've created. And then you just gently tighten the knot, and it's like magic. The knot starts to, you just pull on different ends, like the one that are opposed to each other. So if you're pulling the back end with your right hand, you want to pull the front end with your left hand, and then until you start adjusting the knot and making it however fluffy you'd like it to be. And that's how you tie a bow tie. Pretty easy.
The Kelvin knot produces a slim and tidy knot, similar in size to the four-in hand, but slightly more full and angular. Start with the back side of the tie facing outward, the wide end on your left and the narrow end on your right. The tip of the narrow end should rest near your belly button, but it will vary based on your height and neck size. First, pull the wide end under the narrow end to your right. Then cross it over the narrow end to your left. Back under the narrow end to your right. And once more across the narrow end to your left. Now lead it up through the neck loop from underneath.
1 minute!
And down through the loop you just made on the front. Pull to tighten and slide the knot up to adjust.
Here's how we tie the oriental knot. You want to start with your collar flipped up.
you want to take your tie, and there's a seam on the back side of your tie. You want to make sure that seam is facing outwards when you put the tie around your neck. And this is the exact opposite of how you'd normally set up your tie, so make sure you do it this way. You want the seam on the outside. We're going to take our narrow end, which is on this side, and we're going to put it over top of our wide end, which is here, to make a simple X, just like this. Now, we're going to take 2 fingers and we're going to place them over top of the narrow end. We're going to take our thumb and we're going to pinch the back side of the X, just like this. Now, it's important that we have a good hold of it because we're going to be lifting the X away from our shirt collar, and we're going to be putting the tie fabric up and through this gap, which I'll show you in a moment. Okay, so it should be set up like this. We're going to take the wide end of our tie and we're going to cross it over top of our 2 fingers, just like so. So after you're set up like that, you'll want to reach your hand around underneath, grab the wide end of your tie, and we're going to push it up through that gap. So pull it away from your collar a little bit and push it up through that gap, just like so. After it's through that gap, we're going to take the end of our tie and we're going to give it to our 2 fingers that are right here. So give it to our 2 fingers, and then we're going to take this hand and we're going to pinch that little circle and hold it, and pull our 2 fingers down with the tie, with the wide end, just like so. And there is our knot. Now we're going to cinch it up just a little bit to make it tighter, and we do that by tugging on the wide end of the tie. And then we're going to slide the knot up to our collar. And how we do that is we're going to grab onto the narrow end and we're going to hold it firmly. And then we're going to put our finger on either side of the wide end of the knot, and we're going to slide it straight up until it is up against our button. You can put a nice little dimple in it. Now we're going to flip our collar down. Okay, and there is the oriental knot. You may need to adjust it just a little bit to make it look perfect, but there you are.
Everyone, it's Patrick from Reef Knots. I understand that you are here to learn how to tie this bad boy, the Pratt knot. We're not going to have any waffle, no talking about the history of tie knots or anything like that. I know you're not here for that. You're here to learn, and I'm your teacher. Let's do it. This tie starts back to front. I'm using a tie which has different patterns on different ends. The pineapples on this tie are on the thin end, the geckos are on the thick end. You need plenty of length in the thick end of your tie. This end is going to be much, much shorter. Cross the thick end underneath the thin end, and then poke it through the middle. Create a little shoulder. We will then tie it over the front, tuck it through the middle, and then tuck it through the loop. And that is it, guys. Promise you it wasn't difficult. Okay, so that's it. That is the Pratt knot. You should have no trouble.
Hi guys, thank you for watching for the 8 ways to tie a tie. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'm gonna do a iPhone 13 give out if I have 200 subscribers or more, and one of you 200 subscribers will get the iPhone 13. See ya, bye. Please subscribe to Major TV. See ya, bye.